Carragini. One of the first big times where we stayed in a place that looked like just classic Australia. Hi Big Lap Bible, I'm Jack.
And I'm Sam.
And we're from Sam and Jack vs Wild.
We were recently on the road for 13 months. We've just come back to our home here in Shellharbour and we're both back at work. Jack works in disability support and I work in real estate. And we're saving up for our wedding that's in 6 months. And we decided to do a big lap because our best friends were already doing one and they were 12 months into their trip. And we thought that they were only going to be 12 months and come home, but they were having the most fun, that they were never coming home. They were in Broome at the time and they flew back to visit us and we were all hanging out at our old unit and it was so much fun and they kind of just convinced us that we could join them.
Yeah, and do that every day.
Yeah, so we did.
Yeah.
Because we were just living in a little unit by the beach and we were saving at the time for a house and we didn't realize that we were actually saving for the big lap. Because when we bought our van, we only expected it to be a weekender. Like we thought we were just going to do little trips in it. I think the biggest trip we had planned was like a 2-week trip to Byron.
It got cancelled because of COVID. I was in Dubbo and then Sam rang me and said, oh, I bought a van and we have to do it up now and we're gonna take it around Australia. And I was like, okay. Sam's dad mainly did like everything to it during COVID. Like he built all the inside of it and everything and just kind of like got it ready just to do like little trips around. Like we went to Wee Jasper in it and we were gonna go up to Byron and that's all I thought we were gonna do. But then once, our mates came down and convinced us to do the lap, we had to like add stuff like good solar, good storage, a shower.
We got the roof cage.
Yeah, we got the roof cage, like, jerry cans, gas bottles. Yeah, you got to add all that stuff to it. And having a good solar setup is something that I absolutely thought that we needed, just because I didn't want to be in the middle of Australia with, a dead fridge because we had a crappy solar setup. So we spent decent money. That was probably one of the most expensive things that we added to it to get ready for the trip was, just didn't want anything to die. Yeah, we've got a Toyota HiAce. It's a 2002 long wheelbase petrol. And I feel like that setup suits us because it's just a smaller setup. We can fit, we've got a shower on the outside of it. We've got a toilet that slides under the bed. We've got our fridge in there on like a slide rail thing. We've got a sink. We've got everything in there. Obviously the bed is in there. The way we've done it, there's plenty of storage. Like it's just, that's the cheaper way to do it as well. We don't have to get a big ute and a big caravan. Like we just have that. What would you change on it?
I don't think I'd really change anything, and especially at the time it fit our budget perfectly. We didn't have a lot to spend because we didn't think that we were doing the whole big lap at the time. But one thing I would change is we bought this electronic tap to use as our sink and it worked fine, and then all of a sudden it stopped working. But it didn't just stop working, it decided that it would randomly turn on and we couldn't turn it off, and it was always at like 1 in the morning and it was like screaming because it ran out of water. It was really embarrassing.
If I was going to change anything, it would be the way that we did our cutlery and like pantry items. We had our plates and cutlery in this like 3 stacked toolbox thing, and that was like a really good idea. We got that from someone online, but taking that out of the van every single day just to get to the fridge, like we couldn't pull up somewhere and have like an easy lunch. I would have to basically unpack the whole van just to, get a can of Coke out of the fridge or something. So I would definitely change that and put all that stuff under where the sink was and probably get rid of the sink, to be honest.
when we first started, we went to Victoria and South Australia first, and it was still cool enough that we could do free camping. So we were basically free camping in a lot of national parks then. But then once we started going north, we definitely were sticking to places where we had aircon. I think the last place that we kind of didn't have aircon was Margaret River, and then from there on we were sticking to caravan parks.
WikiCamps is the way to go. That's the easiest way to find places to stay. Also, if you become a G'day member, they have like caravan parks in almost every town, and they're usually cheaper because you pay the if you're a member, you get like a 5% off or 10% off per stay. Yeah, that's massive.
One of the best spots that we stayed at was the free camp at Karajini.
Karajini, yeah.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Was one of the nicest.
Yeah, that was like one of the first big times where we stayed like in a place that looked like just classic Australia, like red dirt with, you know, those short trees, and we're just on top of this mountain basically. And
the sunset was so beautiful. Like it was just us and trees. There was nothing else.
You feel really like nice. The dingoes are going to come and get you there. That was awesome.
But also Monkey Mile
was like, it's really expensive, but if I had a friend that came to Australia and wanted to see what it was like, I would take him there. Like you see dolphins swimming around, and that's where we had the best sunset in Australia, no question. And you know, there's emus and kangaroos around everywhere, and that place was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, just watch the tiger sharks.
Get the apps.
100%. Get G'day. Like, I don't want this to sound like an ad for them, but it's honestly, we used it every single day, and that's how we got free ice, like around Australia.
We had,
and
free nights, free upgrades.
Yeah, free upgrades. Like, we booked a cabin and then upgraded to an extra like free night there. It was awesome.
And with the reviews on WikiCamps, sometimes you have to take them lightly, because I find a lot of the reviews will say they didn't have a good time, and it'll be because like the bistro didn't have what they ordered or something.
It's out of like a 5-star rating, and if 50 people give it a 2-star rating because the staff members smelt like cigarettes, like people just complain about the weirdest stuff, and then it's got nothing to do with
like the actual safety or like the amenities. Yeah,
that's all you care about: safety, amenities, and that's it really. How hot it gets in northwest Australia, it's insane. Like our summer in New South Wales is colder than their winter. It's insane. That was a massive eye-opener.
We were not prepared for that. We didn't even have a vent built into the van when we first left. Nothing. That's something we had to cut into and put in Western Australia.
Yeah. Oh, also, we didn't even know... I didn't really even know midges existed, but I had no idea about Irukandji.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it until we were traveling, and that's massive. Like, they'll just kill you and they're like that big.
Mine is when you accidentally stumble upon something beautiful, like you take the wrong street, or you just need to pull over for a second and you end up finding like the most beautiful beach, or things you just haven't planned and it's so beautiful. That surprise feeling when you don't know that it was there, that was my favorite part. We had that a couple of times. Like, we were camping kind of in like the bush area, and we knew that you could walk over the hill to get to the beach, and when we walked over the hill, it was like the prettiest beach I've ever seen. That feeling. I
actually liked the kind of like group community kind of thing of it. Like, when you're driving in, you know, like Western Australia, it's mainly only people out there that are traveling, and everyone waves. when you drive past them. Like obviously they see our van, we look like travels. They're in a caravan, and yeah, I love the wave, and I love I love going to a caravan park and being nervous to go up to someone and then go up and then we talk to them for like 4 hours and then like we've made friends doing that. That's awesome.
We have close friends now that we've just met traveling.
Yeah, that
like invited to our wedding, close friends.
Yeah, that was an awesome part of traveling as well, the people.
I feel like it was exactly what we thought it would be.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by anything. I assumed that it was going to be hard at times and it could be expensive and it was going to be also really fun and like the best experience of my life. So yeah, it was exactly how I thought it was going to be.
I think how dangerous it is was...
Yeah, before we left, I would tell people that we're going to travel Australia and they'd go like, oh, be careful out there, like really worried about me. But like, just if you're careful about where you stay and lock your stuff up and, it's not that dangerous.
Yeah.
It's really not, yeah. And I was really worried about it. Like someone said to me like, oh, maybe you should start doing jiu-jitsu before you leave. And I was like, no, yeah. I was really scared, but no, it was fine. There's nothing, that's a massive myth, how dangerous it can be. My one was coming into, coming from Western Australia to Northern Territory. We crossed the time, what's it called?
Oh, yeah.
And so we thought we were going to have plenty of time to get there, but then by the time we got there, it was like we'd lost 2 hours or something and it was getting dark. And I was really paranoid about animals on the side of the road. And we had this crappy little just handheld radio and I could hear the trucks up ahead of us and they're going like you hear it like, oh my God, did you see the bloody size of... And I'm like, God, what's coming up? And then like I'm hearing like a cow and like holy crap, like and then yeah, like 8 minutes down the road we come past this giant cow on the side of the road, like bigger than the van. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I think it was the biggest cow in the world.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap. Yeah, another thing that was actually kind of scary in Northern Territory is there's buffalo everywhere, and we were driving up through Kakadu and I came around this corner and thank God the van can't go faster than 80 because we were doing about 80 and we came around this corner and then around the bend there was like 3 buffalo standing right in the middle of the road and yeah, we slammed on the brakes and they kind of just like look at you and then just...
They're not scared.
Yeah, don't move. Like there's no reason for them to be standing right in the middle of the road, but they'll just stand. And then I drove up a bit closer and honked and he looked at me and I was like, oh no, don't flip the van over. That was a scary thing. Yeah, so we were at Litchfield National Park and there's a waterfall there and there was like 400 steps to get down there. We went all the way down and then realized that there was just kids and people everywhere. So we were like, oh, it's too kind of packed to enjoy it. So we'll just go back up and then come back on Monday. We went on a Saturday. And then Monday came around and we went back and in the top car park, there was like 2 cars and a bus. And we were like, sweet, like that's easy. So we went down the like 400 stairs and then the first thing we saw when we came around the corner, there was like 300 school kid backpacks on the ground because there was a school excursion to that waterfall in the national park. So yeah, that was probably one of the funnier things that happened to us.
So I think we had to go down a third time.
Oh yeah, we did. It. We fully had to. Went down those stairs a third time. Yeah.
It was worth it though.
It was worth it. Yeah. The only real downside is we could have bought a house instead. Like probably.
Yeah. Well, also that we missed people from home.
Oh,
like
right.
Yeah, we had to miss a wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, my siblings had kids that, I didn't really get to see the first year of their life.
Yeah, which was really hard.
Yeah, that was actually hard.
We didn't actually bring our dog, but we were traveling with our friends that did have their dog.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was just the same as traveling without a dog, really. Just
The only
because
thing
we
is
were going to the beach every day anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing is you have to find dog beaches and you can't go into national parks.
Oh,
So
yeah. There was times where we would go into the national park and our friends would just go to the next spot over.
Yeah.
And then like would meet up the next night.
Or there was actually we did meet couples like while we were traveling that were just happy to dog sit and we trusted them.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can meet nice people that are like, yeah, we'll watch the dog while you go and do this.
Some lady
today.
watched the dog so we could get engaged.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just make sure you have
An air tag.
an air tag on them in case they steal your dog.
Traveling with kids. No, we don't have kids.
And I don't think we even really
I don't think we met
got to
anyone that even
experience it.
had. No. But I think next time we do it, we'll travel with kids.
Yeah, maybe. Or we'll wait till they're 18.
Honestly, we didn't really have a big plan because we saved up money for a house and then we ended up just using that.
We kind of just randomly picked a number to save to. Like we were like, okay, if we go with 50 grand, we can spend, it was like, 700 a week or something, and then that'll get us through a year's worth of traveling.
Which once you do accommodation, petrol, food and experiences, like we did spend it all.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, we wanted the balance of like going a week where you're eating really, really cheap, but then the next week, like we could go out for dinner and like do something like swim with the whale sharks is like $500 each. Like you got to have the balance. Ours was savings. We obviously just used our house savings, but I was still doing a couple of tasks for my old job just so they didn't have to train anyone, and it was a couple of dollars for us as well that helped pay for petrol because I was just doing it remotely on my laptop.
I reckon easy. Towards the end, we were way more, I mean, obviously we had to be, but he's more careful with money.
Yeah.
And doing online orders for Woolies, like, and just getting the cheapest of every single object. That was a massive thing. But yeah, it's basically $1,000 a week.
Yeah, I think on average it's about $1,000.
And when we asked other people, they would say, "Oh, how much do you spend a week?" Theirs is always 1,000 as well. It's basically that's basically it. $1,000 a week. You can do cheaper. You probably won't have to do any more expensive. Yeah. But yeah, it got to a point where we were doing like easy. We could get away with $500 a week if we weren't traveling too far. Like if we stayed in one spot.
Especially if you're not moving. Like if you're in the one spot and you're not adding in the cost of the petrol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol was one of our biggest
massive.
expenses, especially when you're with your mates.
Yeah, but like once we weren't with our mates, we rarely drank, and if we did, it would be like, a 6-pack a week. Yeah. Drinking
we started
alcohol
drinking
is massive.
wine because it was cheap.
Yeah, that's a massive expense that you don't really need. Like,
yeah.
Also, yeah, just not getting takeaway. It's honestly hard to not do that if you're in like places like, especially
Like
when we
got
went
to Catherine.
When we got to Catherine.
Yeah, because we like had to cook for so long, and then when we got to Catherine, we were like, let's just buy everything.
Yeah. Like if you go from like wherever we were before we went to Perth, as soon as we got to Perth, we were like, okay, we can get KFC.
Yeah.
And then
we got so much Menulog.
Yeah, and the novelty doesn't wear off. Like you're like, yeah, we'll just get Menulog again tonight, and then and then like that's it's so 1,500 a week because you've spent an extra 500 on Menulog.
Yeah. And
it sounds ridiculous, but when you're cooking like, every night on a little induction cooker or something, it really does wear you down. and and you'll go, yeah, I don't mind getting
Especially like
menu
because
every
you've got
night.
in our setup, we've got to cook outside. Sometimes it's not like there's bugs or it's freezing or it's raining.
Yeah.
So then you got to go like to the camp kitchen, like.
Or we're doing like an 8-hour drive and there's a Macca's halfway and I don't want to stop and cook, or I don't like, I don't want to have a salad that's already in the fridge. I want, heaps of food from Macca's and a coffee and then keep going.
I think our biggest splurge was the whale sharks.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yes, that was $500 each, I think.
Yeah.
But it was so worth it.
That was
That's
heaps.
the best experience I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like, actually mesmerizing. I would recommend that every single human on earth does it.
Yeah, I would, and do it in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heaps.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, also the aircon was a pretty big
yeah.
splurge.
We bought the aircon,
And that was
about
well worth it.
$1,000. We bought that in Western Australia, and that was well worth it. I
Yeah.
think if we didn't get that, we wouldn't have survived.
Yeah, it's just like a little portable aircon, and it probably takes like 10 degrees off the outside temperature, but that was massive. We
Especially for sleeping.
if things like that didn't exist, we wouldn't have finished the trip. Honestly, I don't think we would have, because I'm not leaving the door open for spiders to
Yeah.
come in. So, yeah,
I feel like there was heaps of things we bought that we didn't end up using.
the
Things-
tent, the awning tent.
Yeah, we have an awning tent to like, so you can have the awning out and then you can add the tent. I think we used it once for about half an hour and then we packed it up because it got too windy.
Yeah,
Oh no, we used it in Coral
We
Bay.
used it in
as
Coral
well.
Bay and it
But I
was
think
way
that
too
was
hot.
More just because we had it and we just did it.
yeah.
We didn't really need it.
Honestly, like this might sound a little bit bad, but I don't think you even need an awning. I think you could get away with it not having an awning. Like
You
what?
could get away with not having an awning.
Yeah, like especially if you're traveling with mates. Not everyone has the same situation as us, but we were traveling a lot of the time with mates and they had a caravan with a big awning built onto it.
And
So,
we would just park like on the other sides.
yeah, so like we're not all going to sit out the front of our van in our tiny little awning. We just use their awning. So honestly, even when we weren't with them, I probably set up the awning like 8 times in the year. Like you really don't need it, especially if you position yourself in a way where the sun's not going to get you. Like a lot of the time too, this is for one night stays where why are you going to, like, if you're not staying somewhere for more than 3 days, you wouldn't pull out the awning.
Yeah. Yeah, we wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
Just leave. There's never a perfect time.
Yeah, there's never a perfect
Yeah,
time.
there's always going to be something in the family, something with works. There's always something that will delay your trip. You
Yeah.
just have to make a date and you just have to leave. You just have to say, sorry, I'm going.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
100%. Yeah,
There was always something that kept pushing back our trip.
Yeah, we missed a wedding, one of my mates' weddings.
Yeah.
But if we stayed for that, then we would have had to do Easter, and then it would have
Yeah.
been, oh, we can't leave because now it's Anzac Day. Like
Yeah.
there's always
There
something.
was always something.
You just
there was
have to
always
leave.
like someone's birthday coming up, so you just leave.
Yeah, and get the G'day membership. That's a big one as well. I would tell people that.
You'll save a lot of money with that one.
Yeah.
And you need the WikiCamps.
If you're doing it in a van, make sure your airflow is good. Like you need to have air going through there at night.
Yeah.
Because
So we built a vent that you can wind into our front window because we had no airflow. Even when we put the vent in the roof, like it didn't have a way to come in and out, so there was no movement in there. But once we built that, it made it so much better. That really changed everything.
yeah, airflow is massive, and you don't realize even when it's cold, it still gets hot. So yeah, you have to have airflow. Having as small as actual setup as possible is a big thing, I reckon. Like I really towards the end of it, it would just really annoy me to have to set everything up. Like if I had to end up taking out like 1, 2, 3, probably 5 or 6 things, just to get to the fridge, which doesn't sound that crazy, but it is.
When you do it every day.
When you
gets
do it every
annoying.
day, and you're pulling this big heavy thing out every day, yeah, try to have to do as little as you can when you pull up somewhere. Yeah, that's a massive thing, I think.